Hi guys, I love to share personal experiences. I love to talk about the things that matter most to me. I love to also share my journey, my leadership journey, my team journey, everything that has to do with what I do, what we do here. It's also important that you get however little it is, even if it's one information that makes sense. I just hope I'll be able to drop that. Yeah. So just to get right through into it right now. Yesterday I had a brief chat with one of my team members, and we began to x-ray lots of the things that we've been doing recently over the past couple of months. Let me say over the past couple of 12 months. So it was more like a review. And since I managed that team, I asked her a question. I said, after she had told me everything about what her aspirations were and all that, and I said, okay, can you give me a review? I actually came there to review her, but I also asked her for a review. And she began to talk. She said, you don't communicate well. You don't carry the team along. I don't sense that there is a whole lot of teamwork. Immediately she said teamwork. That really began to it struck a chord on the inside of me, and I really wanted to understand what teamwork is really about. And I asked her a couple of few questions. And I was like, okay, does teamwork mean the leader must always chart the course? Is that what teamwork is about? Is it about, okay, the team leader is always talking about the vision, he's always the one sharing, he's always the one generating the ideas, always generating the thought processes, always setting the KPIs? Is he self-led? Is he leading himself? Is he leading others? Is he leading his team properly? All of those thoughts were running through my mind, and I came to one conclusion while I was talking to my colleague yesterday, and I said to her, a leader's job is not to raise followers. I think that's where the problem is. Most people want to follow. A leader's job is to raise leaders. So if, for example, as a business leader, the entire buck stops with you, like my own form of leadership is such that you give me a job to get done. I have a clear picture of where I'm actually headed. I look out for people. I communicate that destination. I don't see that I have to every day. I come and meet you. Okay, what are you doing to get to this? My thinking is that you would have gone home. You will ask yourself a series of questions. You begin to strike against the status quo of your own thinking, and you begin to generate your own thought processes in line with that aspect of the project that you're supposed to deliver on. So your job as a follower, in quotes, a leader, because I don't believe people should remain on the follower trajectory for a long period of time. I feel that when you have a leader on your team and you're also on that team, following but also leading, your job is to say, okay, our team leader has said X, Y, Z. He has given me a charge. My job is to flesh in that charge, generate the ideas, then if possible, come back for a meeting, a strategic session that would also generate a lot of key indicators for execution of that particular action. So if at the next meeting, the person is still saying, okay, team lead, you've not yet done this, you've not yet told us this. Your team leader's job is not to tell you everything, except you want to remain a follower. If, for example, on a team, you are leading leaders, you are supposed to be leading leaders, everybody has to take their own responsibility. And like I tell people most times, as a leader, I take my responsibility, and I don't take the responsibility of other people, other persons. It's my job to get the team, to clarify the vision of that team, and to get the right persons on the team moving forward to achieve that particular goal. So if you have people who are always waiting for maybe the boss, the CEO, the team lead to come and be sharing the vision, you cannot remain on vision mode all the time. You share the vision, you move straight to execution. In fact, basically, the way some things work with me personally is that I have an idea, I don't wait to think out the end of it, because things are moving so fast right now. A whole lot of ideas come. You think you're the only one actually having an idea, but the truth is that a lot of other people are having that same idea. So the person who has ownership of the idea is not the person thinking through the entire process, it's the person who gets it running. The person who owns an idea is the one who gets it running. So you cannot stay on the tranquilizing bed of wishing. I wish, one day I will. there's always a one day after that day. You are big up on procrastinating on things that you can actually start executing now. So I feel that for those who want to remain followers on a team, the choice is yours. For those who want to be leaders while following, you can follow and still lead. You can lead your own aspect of a team and still deliver great results. Deliver great results that turn up a whole lot of possibilities. In fact, your team lead would even be like, this person is really giving so much. He's giving so much value. I only told him X, Y, Z. He has given me 1 to 20. That's the kind of follower leader that team leads would actually appreciate a great deal. So when next you are brainstorming, you are thinking of ideas, and your team lead is saying, okay, this is where we're actually headed, you should do yourself a favor to ensure that you see the entire process through. You see the entire process through, and you are able to come up with things that will add value to that particular discussion. That's where your ingenuity lies. That's where your skill lies. That's where your value lies. Your value is not in somebody telling you one thing over and over and over and over, always checking up on you. Somebody like me, I don't believe in micromanaging. I'm not a micromanager. Once we get the word out there, the word should be out there. I expect that everybody working on that team should seize a portion of the team influence, the team power, the team responsibility, the team obligations, the team duties, and begin to run with it. Begin to generate your own ideas. Let us meet at the level of execution. You don't always have to meet at the level of, let us meet, let us have a meeting, we're always meeting, but nothing gets done. Executioners, in the real sense of it, not, executioners. I know you understand what I mean. Executioners are required big time in this season. Nobody wants to tag onto people who are not executing. They are just fine-tuning. You want to read a whole business book, or you want to read a whole library of business books or business materials before you actually start a business. You are joking. One of the best ways to really get this going is to get your feet dirty, get in the mud, get stained, dig your feet into the ground and get started. Nothing is so terrifying. In fact, I feel the terror should reside in people who wait. It's just like saying you are waiting on God when God is waiting on you. God has given you everything that pertains to life and godliness. Everything He ever wants to put on the inside of man, He has already deposited it on the inside of us. This is by no means a preaching session, but the reality of the fact is that when you have all of those things on the inside of you, you cannot keep ruminating. You cannot keep chewing the cord, just like maybe a goat does, for example. A goat will keep chew one particular thing in one segment of the stomach, move it to another segment and all that. No, you are not an animal. You have a human instinct, and you have to go the extra mile in every place or in anything that you find yourself doing. I just felt I needed to share this. Somebody might be able to get some value out of it, and my hope and expectation is that don't just get the value, execute value. Execute value, be big up on execution. Nothing trumps mediocrity like executing. Nothing trumps mediocrity like executing. It is your job. It's not always about who your leader is. If you are a follower, then it's a big problem. But when we have follower leaders, I think that's really awesome. People who are following but who are leading. They are leading. They are keeping tabs on their own edge of the assignment, and they are getting things done. Whenever they have a meeting, what they are asking is, okay, I've generated idea X, Y, and Z. What do you think? Not that you wait on your leader to generate idea X, Y, and Z. Then he's asking you what you think all the time. It is your responsibility. It is your job. And like Jim Rohn would always say, work better on yourself. Work more on yourself than you do on your job. It's very important. It will play out in your job. It will play out in your finances. It will play out in your relationship. It could even play out in your sex life. You never know. But this is not a marital video. But the reality, the point I'm trying to make is you need to get to that point where you take absolute responsibility for the results that you are getting. The world is full of errors. Don't add your mistakes to it. Make life better for someone else. Until I come your way next time, this is Joseph.